dancing down the street with his wavy blue eyes. Every new boy that you meet doesn't know the real surprise. Here she comes again when she's dancing beneath the starry sky. Oh, she'll make you feel. Here she comes again when she's dancing beneath the starry sky. I kinda like the way she dips. She's my best friend's girl. She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine. You got your nuclear boots and your drip-dry glove. Oh, when you bite your lip, it's some reaction to the love of. Here she comes again when she's dancing beneath the starry sky. Yeah, I make you feel. Here she comes again when she's dancing beneath the starry sky. Here she comes again. I kinda like the way she dips. 'Cause she's my best friend's girl. She's my best friend's girl. And she used to be mine. She's so fine.
You know what? I hate to say it's not really doing it for me. How about this? Yeah. I think this is more like it this morning. Do you mind? Come on. Plus it's live.
Well, it started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone, and the sun went down as across the hill, and the town lit up. And the world got still. I'm ready to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. Now the good old days may not return, and the rocks might melt, and the sea may burn. I'm learning to fly, yeah, but I ain't got wings. And coming down, it's the hardest thing. Yes, it is. Now some say life will beat you down, and it'll break your heart, steal your crown. So started out,
Isn't that beautiful?
for God knows
Come on.
where,
God knows where, baby.
but I guess I'll know when I get there.
Here we go.
I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings.
Make a wings, baby.
Coming down
Hitting the ground.
is the hardest thing. I'm learning to fly. Learning to fly.
Learning to fly. I ain't got wings.
Yeah, that's right.
Learning to fly.
I'll tell you one day, baby, I'm gonna learn to fly. And fly over my trouble. Fly over my worry. Fly up high in the blue sky. Looking down on the world below. Way up over my worry. And over my trouble. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Gonna run, fly.
'Cause I'm learning to fly. But I ain't got wings. I do, though, have a 400 foot, 1,000 watt radio station. And an FM and tune in, and I'm on TV and Amazon and all that stuff. And all it adds up to is that coming down is the hardest thing. And is that really true? Is that the hardest thing? The amount of strife in the world right now. I just don't know. I have this picture in my head that if we just accurately portray what's going on in America and then play it in like 5 years, you know, which is what I plan on doing, is kind of categorizing some of the stuff that's going on, because I think it's really a point in history. And what are we gonna do with this point that we're documenting every day? It would be very hard to believe what is going on and how things have transpired to explain it to somebody 5 years ago. And I'm projecting that it would be very difficult to explain it to people 5 years from now. So we are documenting history every day, and it just keeps coming. And today, who do I have? I have Scott Lindsay will be here. Scott was attacked in Hessville Park on his bike. You probably saw it in Jerry Davich's article. And it's become kind of a crusade around here, but to me, he's just Scott who lived down the street, and he's a good guy, and we'll talk about it, but he is missing 6 teeth in the front of his mouth. And that is going to be, it's a little bit troublesome. I don't know if that, I talked to him on Sunday, and I don't think I noticed too much of a problem. I mean, you don't realize how much you need your teeth to talk unless you've done it for a long time and don't have any teeth, and then you know how to talk without your teeth. But anyways, maybe somebody will call in and say, well, I don't have any teeth, and I know how to talk. But anyways, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks pretty good. Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan, Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along well. And in terms of the weather, it got a little chillier, didn't it? I told you it would. And it is, I got out of the car this morning, and I'm like, ooh, this feels good. This feels like most of the time I come to work. When it's like, it's cold, you're wearing a coat. Sunny to partly cloudy and breezy, the start of the coolest stretch of weather since early spring. Then tonight it gets clear to partly cloudy and windy, a shower in places, low around 50 or so. So it is, you got a little early fall test going on of your fortitude to handle these seasonal changes. And so the high today is 66. Tomorrow it is only a high of 66 also, as it is same thing on Saturday, but actually a little sunnier on Saturday and a high of 66 degrees. There you go. That is, well, probably the second sip of coffee. Second sip of coffee. What was that Bob Dylan song about a cup of coffee? That's a good one. What's that? I can't believe I can't think of it. I think it's one more cup of coffee. There you go. One more cup of coffee. How would you write a song like that? Your breath is sweet. Your eyes are like two jewels in the sky. Your back is straight. Your hair is smooth on the pillow where you lie. But I don't sense affection. No gratitude or love. Your loyalty to me is not from the stars above. One more cup of coffee for the road. One more cup of coffee before I go to the valley below. Anyways, it's kind of a little bit corny, but you could do it. So what is happening in the world? I knew you were going to ask that. Now, you heard a couple spots earlier. I was trying to figure out, we're doing a little bit of changes on some of the ad tracks, and I want to say thanks to everybody who signed up and recently, and that's been quite a few of you, as especially where we kind of combine the digital streaming of local sports and then me being on the radio and others being on the radio and talking about news and stuff. You put it together, it's pretty good bargain, and I'll have a list when I come in Tuesday of everybody who signed up, but you can listen to the different spots and hear them. And certainly I've got to make some spots today. But right now, one of the things that we do is that we work with the Times to put together 219 News Now. And it kind of tells us what the hell's going on. If you just want a quick summary of some stuff that's been hanging around for a couple of days. And maybe we'll talk about some of these. But Andrew Garcia put it out. And let's listen to it right now on the voice and face of the Calumet region.
9 News Now is brought to you by the South Shore Line and by Strachan Van Til, making lives easier for 95 years.
I'm Andrew Garcia, and this is your 219 News Now. A semi-truck fire on I-65 near exit 247 on US 231 Wednesday night left just one southbound lane open, according to Indiana State Police. It appeared to be a truck carrying clothing, police said. We believe that it started in the brakes. As of 9:08 p.m. Wednesday, only one lane of traffic was open as firefighters worked to extinguish the flames. The southbound exit ramp onto US 231 is closed and drivers are asked to seek an alternate route. There are no reported injuries at this time. Please stay with the Times for an update on this story. State inspectors found violations of the BP Whiting refinery after severe thunderstorms flooded it last month and a lightning strike took equipment offline. Inspectors found that the torrential rainstorms caused the BP refinery's wastewater treatment plant to overflow and an unknown amount of oily water to reach Lake Michigan. BP put a containment boom in the water as a precaution to corral any potential spill. The state agency sent a non-compliance letter to the BP Whiting refinery asking it to submit a plan for addressing the issue, stating that the refinery has 30 days upon receipt of the letter to submit a written detailed response documenting correction of the concerns listed above and/or a plan for assuring future compliance. The Central Midwest Carpenters Union is hosting an open house at its Maryville Union Hall on September 9th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The union is offering free events at various union halls in Indiana to showcase career opportunities and emphasize a debt-free path to a carpentry career, particularly targeting high school students nearing graduation. Attendees can explore the training center, participate in hands-on activities, and learn about the strong demand for skilled construction workers in various sectors. And in sports, the IUN men's soccer team battles Taylor University. Here's a look at the action from that game.
Bird sends it in. Opportunity. Shot on goal. Deflected in. And now with the 1-goal lead, we'll see if they do that. This one is sent in front of the net. And another goal. Well, what looked to me is just they didn't hear the whistle. Bird just continued to play. And then you had a whole lot of action after that as a counter quickly coming here for IUN. The ball is going to be centered in and headed into the back of the net. IUN goal. And the clock will expire on Indiana University Northwest as it's a final here from East Chicago Central. Taylor Trojans come away with the victory 2-1.
To read up on more local news and headlines, visit jedtv.com and nwi.com. I'm Andrew Garcia, and this has been your 219 News Now.
All right, thanks a lot, Andrew. It's actually some pretty good footage right there of some soccer, right? And they're playing those games out at East Chicago Central for IUN now has soccer. If you're asking, really, I didn't know IUN has soccer. Well, they do, but they don't have a field. So they are playing at East Chicago Central, and it took a little while for us to kind of get all of the logistics set. But once we did, man, it really is a kind of cool field. And, those games are good, and you can watch those on the JED TV Sports Network. Hey, take a short break and play some bills. Be right back.
When will those clouds all disappear? Angie, where will it lead us from here? With no loving in our souls and no money in our coats, you can say we're satisfied. Angie, you can't say we never tried. Angie, you're beautiful, yeah, but ain't it time we said goodbye? Angie, I still love you. Remember all those nights we cried.
little symphony there. Is that what that is? What do you think that like, I don't know if that is like a stringed instrument or if that's some sort of wind instrument there. I never really thought about it. Probably listened to that song 1,000 times, sitting on my bed, corner of Fisher at White Oak and Munster, listening to Angie, and then Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and then Walk This Way by Aerosmith, and then Won't Get Fooled Again by the Who. That's kind of the progression right there. All right, what was I coming in here for? Anyways, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. And, I went in for my glasses. Gosh, is that a bad sign when you walk in somewhere and you're like, what did I walk in here for? And it is. It's like one of the tests. But part of the reason is that my glasses were sitting right on my computer. So I got some new ones here. We'll have to open those. Anyways, 294 around the city looks pretty good. Bishop Ford up the gut of the south side of Chicago, that's moving along pretty well. Dan Ryan, that looks good too. And then Skyway, Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along pretty well. You know what? 294, I'm sorry, I have to go back on that. That earlier accident is actually starting to cause some problems. I was following it earlier, I don't know, 5 o'clock-ish. And they had an accident, but then they opened up some lanes about halfway up, right after 55. And then it looks like they might have some rescue people there that's kind of backing things up. So if you are going to O'Hare, there will be a delay. And up to Bishop Ford, it's about normal, maybe even a little bit less right now. Now, that problem southbound on I-65 where they closed I-65 overnight, according to my grid, that is open. Anybody that wants to call in on that one, on the southbound I-65, anybody got caught in it, sorry to hear about that, but it was a tractor-trailer fire. There it is. And it was on, it was at exit 2, whatever, the 231 exit. I don't know, it's got to be like 246 or 7, something like that. A truck was carrying clothing, and then I don't know, about 10 o'clock last night, I think is when it happened. No real injuries reported, but it was started on fire, and so you could think about a box truck where it is full of clothing, and then it starts on fire, and all that stuff's got to burn out. It had to be a pretty big deal. And, yeah, so there you are on traffic. In terms of the weather, really is getting a lot cooler. High of 68, sunny to partly cloudy in Breezy. The start of the coolest stretch of weather since spring, but it will be sunny. Mostly cloudy, though, tomorrow. Windy and cool. Great football weather. High of only in the mid-60s along the Borman. It might reach 70 in DeMont or something like that, but really north of the Borman is quite a bit cooler. And then partial sunshine on Saturday and a high of 66, and the same thing on Sunday. Then it warms up a little bit next week. Now, what do we have in terms of the games on Friday? I know a couple of them, but I don't know all of them because we also stream the games for Regional Radio Sports Network, and I don't have that one in front of us. Let's see, it's, oh, I don't have it right now. It would be customer, announcer, contact, prep sports, fall, there it is. So that would be, no, I don't have it. So I will get it for you later in the broadcast. But I do know one thing, that we will be at Wing and Roll tomorrow, and Adriana Alvarez will MC that. I'll try to get out there. Also, that is a kind of a big deal where they, the best wings in the region, they do a big wing off, and that is going to be in kind of, I think, late afternoon into the evening, and that is Wing and Roll in Crown Point. And then on Friday also, we will be from, I guess that's tomorrow, will be from, I think, 5 to 7. We'll have a little game day thing going on at Griffith High School, and they will be, I think, on the field. And that'll be, I think, at 5 o'clock, Phil Mason, a coach of Griffith. And then at 5:20, Cam, and I don't know Cam's last name, but Cam is the new Griffith football coach, or Griffith basketball coach. He'll come on around 5:20. And then they'll do the normal analysis of all the games around the Calumet region. And they did it for the very first time at Andrean on Saturday, and now they're going to do it here at Griffith High School. And we'll see how that goes. But I think it's kind of weird in that one of the guys hosting it is Joe Cimino. And just, I think, 3 years ago, he was the quarterback for Andrean. And now he's going to be helping to host Friday night kickoff at Griffith. When, if you know those rivalries, it just makes you kind of smile. You know what I mean? But did you also see? It was the weirdest thing, in that they, at the beginning of summer, 2 dudes walked in and they both kind of sat next to each other. And I'm like, all right, you're an intern. Sam brought him in somehow, and then the other one, pre-boy, I think. I don't know, I got from a friend or whatever. And so they both sit down, and I'm like, all right, what's your name? Joe Cimino. Where'd you go? You went to Andrean, and you're going to PNW. Okay, blah, blah, blah. What's your name? My name is AJ Preboy. I went to Munster, and now I'm going to Carthage College, and, I want to be more on the marketing side. So you didn't see much of AJ Preboy. He did really help our website and our marketing, and he's kind of a whiz in that. And Joe Cimino's kind of taken a little bit more of in front of the camera, and he produces, kind of going the Sonny, Rob, Jimmy Mulaney kind of way. And he kind of likes the tech. So they're going different directions in media. And then I go, all right, AJ, weren't you like the quarterback at Munster? And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, Cimino, what did you play, running back or something? And he goes, no, I was the quarterback at Andrean. So the 2 quarterbacks were working together all summer long. But anyways, just kind of weird stuff happened inside the gold mine. So we'll be out there. I don't know if I guess I'm playing golf on Friday with some people. And then it's kind of what I do to kind of make some connections, I guess. And then I have to go to Wing and Roll, so I don't know if I'll make it to the Griffith tailgate. That would kind of be the 3rd stop of the day. And then my little granddaughter's turning 3 on Saturday and have a little party. So it also happens to be poor scheduling, and that 313 Tap Room, which is my brother-in-law's bar, Mark Forite, and Tony Hannes are having their golf outing. And they knew not to ask me to play because I will be helping get ready for a 3-year-old birthday party. But my dad's playing, and I don't know when he played golf last time, and I believe he's playing with 2 Munster councilmen that are 2 of the most unlikely politicians I've ever met. And one is George Schinken, the NFL referee, the brother of Bob Schinken, who I was close with, the Munster baseball coach. So George is his daughter, Tati, also worked here for some time and still does some graphics for us on the side. And then you have Hofferth, Joe Hofferth, who was really just little Joe Hofferth in the neighborhood, who everybody kind of, they beat up on him a little bit, but now he's like big 6-foot-something big guy, Joe Hofferth, and not too many people beat up on him anymore, unless you are a Democrat, then you might beat up on him because he's Republican. But that will be going on also on Saturday. If you're trying to play at Wicker Park in the afternoon, don't even bother because 313 Tap Room will be taking that over. I believe that outing is at noon. That's just some of the stuff going on. In my, I guess, personal life, I want to say condolences to the Faso family. That is, Steve Faso is a year older than I am, and then Charlie Faso is a couple of years younger, and then Gina Faso is 1 year younger. So we all lived together kind of on the same corner of Fisher and White Oak and Munster, and just kind of ran back and forth. And there was one little girl at the time, but I think she died at the age of 56. Kristen Faso died recently, and I went to the wake yesterday, and it was kind of good to see all of the people that I grew up with. Kind of everybody gathered, and Rosalie Faso was, or still is, a Marushak. And so I was talking to Mike Marushak. If you remember him, he had the little organ place over here on Calumet. He had, I don't know, he had a bunch of different businesses. And but he also helps out now at Burns Kish Funeral Home as he just kind of helps out. And he has his embalming license. And it was, good to see Mike. And I know that he listens, and I appreciate that. But it was very sad in that, speaking of Joe Hofferth, he was like a little guy running around the neighborhood. And his older brothers, Jerry, and mostly Jerry, kind of knocking him around a little bit. And my little brothers. So, he got knocked around a little bit. But Kristen Faso was also younger, much younger in the neighborhood. I don't know, she's 7 years younger. And I don't know, she might have been 1987 at Munster, is my guess. And, you just don't think of that. But she passed away. It was very sad yesterday, spending some time there. I did see Dr. Eric Ladd and Patty Potasnik. Eric Ladd and I went to high school together, and he's got the children's dentistry thing in Cherville there. And we talked a little bit about, what do you expect? Baseball. Eric Ladd, the dentist. Some of you are going, hey, man, he works on my kid's teeth. And you don't realize that he was a really good pitcher in high school. And he still follows the game pretty good, and so do I. Did you watch that Cubs game last night, by the way? And, I don't know. I've been into watching the Cubs lately. They're pretty exciting. And I also like to listen to them on the radio, those two goofballs. And so watch the game, and then, I got to go get gas in my wife's car, and I'll take an inordinate amount of time to do it, and I'll go out and I'll clean out her car a little bit, and then I'll take my time at the gas station. One of those guys that puts the gas thing in the side and then puts his hands and crosses his hands and just watches traffic go by, and I'll take my time, and then it'll click that it's filled up, and then I'll be like, well, I don't know, let me take some time. It's really kind of nice here. But the Cubs are really exciting right now, but in kind of a bad way sometimes too, in that, let's see, I think it was Brown yesterday pitched, and they were having just having a great game, and I think he didn't allow any hits. It was Ben Brown. Was it Ben, or I don't know, was it Cade Horton? It was Cade Horton and Ben Brown that kind of came together. And then they didn't give up any hits. And then all of a sudden, like in the seventh inning, they did a couple walks, and then the guy hits a home run, and the Cubs were winning 1-0. And then next thing you know, it was 4-1, and I think they lost 5-1 to a kind of a struggling Braves team. And it was a really bad loss. And that comes on the heels of a huge win on Monday night. And it was a Tuesday night where they won right at the end, and Kelly hit a home run, and then he hit a single, and it was beautiful stuff. But man, did they look bad last night in the last couple innings. They just couldn't hit anything. And then gave up walk and a home run, and it was one of the quietest seventh inning stretches where they sing the song that I can remember. All in all, though, I think that one of the reasons that I'm stumbling and kind of just going at it, and that there really is just so many kind of questionable things going on right now, and I don't know how to digest all of them. One of the sadder ones that I saw yesterday was all of these women getting up there yesterday, and they are the survivors of Epstein's I don't know, what do you call it, sexual abuse. And there's this growing momentum to force the government to, hey, these women deserve they deserve justice, they deserve transparent, they deserve to know what really went on with all of this kind of child sexual ring, and they want all of the information released. And in the beginning, I don't know how child sexual abuse became a political topic, but it is. And now some of the Republicans are coming off, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I'm not sure how she would fit on WJOB. Sometimes I don't have people on because I'm afraid that I think they're going to drop an F-bomb or two and they can't talk without swearing. And she reminds me of that person, but she's been on media for so long, she probably got all of the foul language out of her past. But anyways, she's up there going, yeah, women, this is real. We need to know who's out there. And then I saw one of the Republican men yesterday saying, why would we hide this? I mean, why are we not just releasing all of it? And then 45 minutes later, if you follow it, Donald Trump, our president, comes on and says, it's the Democratic hoax that won't die or whatever. And I'm like, is it? I mean, I think that what's happening is more and more people are realizing, who are we protecting here, and why are we not putting that out there? And I don't think that's a Democrat or Republican thing. As I think somebody put it yesterday, there's only one reason why they wouldn't release this stuff, and that is to protect monsters. And I'm like, you know what? I watched an interview with a guy named Sky something or other, but he was the sister of Virginia Giuffre or whatever. And she was the woman who spoke out the most about Epstein and very powerful people that were involved in kind of passing around as if they were some sort of commodity, young women. And she kept going at it, and then finally when it started, started to get some attention to what happened, she committed suicide. And the brother is just, I don't know, man, that guy was, you could tell raw pain when you see it and you feel it, and it's like, oh my God. And I watched that interview and I'm like, yeah, I think America's coming around to saying, let's find out what happened here. And then the president comes on and says, oh, it's a hoax. That's history right there. And it's kind of hard to take because it involves, young women who have basically, in some cases, had their lives certainly turned upside down. And in a couple of cases, it cost them their lives. And it's real and sad. And at the same time, we have the National Guardsmen going into D.C., and now they're talking about making it come to Chicago, right? And, what does that mean? And then there's some sort of lawsuit in L.A. that you can't use the Guardsmen as a national police force. And then there is grumbling amongst the Guardsmen. And I told you guys a long time ago that I had this dream years ago. And it was a dream that keeps coming up, and I can't shake it. And it is a young soldier in front of the White House. Okay? I've been there just like everybody else, walked outside the wrought iron gate there. And they're inside the gate. And they're behind some sort of little hill or little molehill, and the guardsman or the soldier is a gun in his hand, young dude, and his superior office, CO, says, charge the White House, and shoot at the White House, and let's go. And the guardsman is in that bunker, and he doesn't know whether to charge the White House or shoot his commanding officer. It's a awful dream. It's kind of, I mean, it just has not left me, and now here we are with, and guardsmen are like, here's one right here. Guard members and their relatives say they left behind jobs and children, and now they're just picking up trash. And I think it costs $1 million a day in D.C., and what is going on? This is history right now. At the exact same time that we are getting rid of vaccines, which is a part of in some areas. So RFK Jr. has kind of gotten the anti-vaccine movement rolling, and then yesterday in Florida they came out and said they're going to remove the guidelines around vaccines, and it's just so hard to digest all of this at one time. And that's just I didn't even talk about like shooting a Venezuelan boat right out of the water with in international water with just because thought that they are drug dealers, and I'm like, and classifying them as terrorists and somehow using the law to just shoot up a boat and blow it up and kill 11 men, and it all is very difficult to all of a sudden take in at once and try to go to sleep and wake up and do a show. I'll be right back. I know you guys are calling in. I'll take some calls. 219-845-1100. That's just a few things. I just wonder, does anybody have any good tricks for like taking in all of the, it's not all bad news, and I'm not even saying all that stuff I was talking about is bad news. It just keeps coming, and in all of these situations, there are victims. And how do you internalize that? How do you take it all in? Here it is, September 4th of 2025. We're kind of, I guess, desensitized to the pace of happenings in America and to the pace of change and social media and the pace of just different things coming at you. And I just wonder, how do you deal with it? All right, be right back on the Voice and Face of the Region.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. is cloudy, there is still light that shines on me, shining until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be. Won't you let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words.
AM 1230 WJOB. What is that sound? 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the region. I'm Jim Dedelow, hanging out on a beautiful Thursday morning. And let's take a look at traffic. I hang out in the studios here at Purdue Northwest. And it's the Strachan Van Til Studios, and it's just me. I'll have a producer in about a half an hour. And I will have, I believe Scott Lindsay will be riding his bike over, and we'll talk to him about what happened in Hessville Park and just what kind of guy he is. And then we have, let me see, I have a bunch of other things going on too that I haven't necessarily looked. I kind of like being surprised. And PNW Today comes back, and that is at 8:05 this morning. Then I'll be doing a podcast called Mastering Local Marketing right around 9:10. And I'll do that live, and I'll do 2 segments of that. And then I'll follow it up with Limb Walkers. And will be Limb Walkers is Will Glaros, and I will get together and we'll talk about just kind of about life. So I'm on quite a bit. I do want to let everybody know that I won't be here probably like 1 or 2 days next week, is that I'm scheduled to go to some TED Talks. And I will, they're on sports, and I'll tell you about it when I get back. But it'll just be one day that I'll be gone. I'm going to Indy. And so if you have somebody different on Thursday of next week, you'll know why. All right, it's good. We're doing traffic of 294 around the city. Looks good. 80 going east and west looks good. The Bishop Ford is bad early. It's not so bad at the merge. It's bad on the Steel Bridge. I'm not sure why. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65 are all moving along pretty well. In terms of the weather, quite a bit cooler. Beautiful weather for Friday night football and for Saturday football, as it's basically a high of about 66 to 68 degrees for the next 3 days, all the way through the weekend. Tomorrow, kind of a windy and cool day. And then it maybe warms up a little bit in the middle of the day, gets as high as 65, 66, and then it gets down to, believe it or not, the low 40s on Friday night. And then kind of the same thing on Saturday, really cold morning, most of the morning in the 40s. And then it tops out about 65, 66 on Saturday afternoon. All right, let me take some phone calls. You know, I kind of have there's a lot of things going on. I think I forgot to mention one was President Trump and his family making an estimated $5 billion by releasing some sort of cryptocurrency. Maybe Brad can explain that one to me, but it just keeps coming, man. Just what does that mean? How does a president and his family make $5 billion? And it's just I don't get any of it. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Well, you couldn't hate Trump anymore, could you?
Well, you couldn't love Trump anymore, could you?
I won't even talk about that.
No, listen, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
President Trump is in charge, right?
Yeah, how about
and
Pelosi?
He's the one that you look at all of the things that are going on, right? And you can have a positive side and a negative side, and we can analyze that. What doesn't get me is the pace. I can't keep up with the pace of the messaging, the pace of the big shifts. And it's just very hard to internalize that. What about you?
Earlier, you had mentioned there's certain guys you're worried about bringing on the radio because they might drop an F-bomb. I've not heard Mad Mac in a while. Mad Mac okay?
You know, you tell me.
I don't know. A guy calls 16 times a day. I haven't heard him in a while.
Yeah, why is that?
I have no idea. But listen.
Wait a second. Now you've lied twice.
Okay.
Now you've lied twice. No, come on, man. I mean, you know, if you're going to lie, you know, later in the conversation, you have to fess up.
Don't call me. Come on, I'm not a liar. Jimmy.
Come on, you lied and you know it. Now, come on. I've caught you in other lies, but you lied on that one. Did you not lie or not lie? Did you lie or not lie?
That Mad Mac hasn't been on? I've not heard
No, that you don't know why.
Oh, I don't know anything. But you know something?
God. You know, that's the one thing that you've been good at over these years is that you have a very keen sense of observation. And I like it. I encourage it. But you have, I don't know if, maybe there was one other time I can remember. But you don't normally lie to me, do you?
No, I never lie. I'm not a pigeon.
So are you lying about this one? I mean, do you really have a message? Is there something you want to say? Is there, when I ask you, do you know why Mad Mac's not on? Do you really want to say you don't know?
Well, maybe we should ask Jerry Davidge, that astute reporter. Oh, hold on. He's the same guy that wrote the story about the Asian kid getting the snot knocked out of him, and not once did he mention that attack was racially motivated. Did you pick up on that at all?
Well, I have not heard that it was racially motivated.
There was an Asian kid, and there was racial slurs being slung in that kid's direction as he was getting his teeth knocked out of his head. And not once did Jerry Davidge mention that was a racially motivated attack. That kind of, you talk about telling the truth or telling lies, sometimes it's what you don't say that's the lie. And Davidge has got a long history of doing that. He likes twisting the story. Well, let's get back to the National Guard. That's the main reason I called before you got me tripped up, Jimmy.
Well, you know, when you lie, then sometimes people can trip you up. But anyways, go ahead.
At any rate, I digress. You're looking at the glass as half empty with this National Guard coming in. I'm looking at it as half full because Chicago, a once vibrant city, and I've always said there's no better city in the world to visit than Chicago in the summertime. And I don't go as much as I used to because of crime. I welcome the National Guard to come in because I want to restore Chicago to what it used to be, a thriving community where I feel safe walking Michigan Avenue or Lakeshore Drive without getting my chiclets knocked out of my skull. Look at what they've done in Washington, D.C., and you've not mentioned that at all. You paint it as a horrible thing that the National Guard came into Washington, D.C., but you neglect to mention. I'll wait till your generator shuts off back there.
No, I'm just heating up my coffee. Wait, not only can you can't lie as well as you could. You can't do two things at once. But anyways, let's talk about the National Guard.
Not once do you mention the fact that crime is down a great amount in Washington, D.C.
So you are correct. I mean, I don't know what the right decision is here because I do agree with that. I mean, I went to Chicago for my anniversary on Sunday, and I was thinking about all the kind of the places I don't go anymore. Go ahead, Scott, sit right here, okay?
Hey,
hold on a second. And I'm like, what if they brought the National Guard in? Would I go like to some of the old places I used to go on the West Side? I used to live on the West Side, and I don't know that, and just because I'm trying to stir up conversation doesn't, don't look at it that way. But
you don't get both sides of the story, Jimmy.
No,
you're
here's what I'm doing. You're giving the other side of the story.
I know exactly what you're doing, and
exactly.
I'm doing you.
That's what I do. Okay, but I want to know.
15 years.
All right, listen. Say there's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 National Guardsmen running around Chicago in the North Loop where they were having smash and grabs, in the West Loop where the murder rate is just astronomical, one of the highest in the area. Not West Loop, but West Side. I mean, they're all over the city of Chicago. Is that a bad thing?
I think we need to take at least two of those guys and send them to Griffith and go do a wellness check on Mad Max. I gotta go.
Now you have finally gotten back to the truth. By the way, the young man who was attacked in Hessville Park is sitting right here next to me, and we're going to talk to him in just a second. So stay tuned. All right, guys, stay where you're at. Scott Lindsay is here. He and I have known each other for a long time, and we're going to talk. We'll be right back on the voice and face of the Calumet region. Why not, huh? Why am I not hearing anything, huh? There it is.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Nobody ever loved me like she does. Ooh, she does. Yes, she does. And if somebody loved me like she do me, ooh, she do me. Yes, she does. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm in love for the first time. Don't you know it's gonna last? It's a love that lasts forever. It's a love that has no past. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. And from the first time that she really done me, ooh, she done me. She done me good. I guess nobody ever really done me. Ooh, she done me. She done me good. Don't let me down. Hey, don't let me down. Don't let me down.
AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the Calumet region. I'm Jim Dedelow. I'm the owner and the sometime host here in the morning. We also, remember, have a whole bunch of football games and some volleyball and soccer and girls flag football. All of that you can watch on JED TV Sports Network app. And please download it on your TV in your living room or on your phone. And I can't even really go through how many games that we do. And part of the reason we keep adding games as we keep adding people who want to sponsor the games and be on them. So I appreciate all the people that have come in the last few weeks. So please patronize those that are you see on the games. I want to say thanks to Patty Popa at Popa Heating and Cooling. She did a major sponsorship for football, and we appreciate that. And she's just one of the many. Let's take a look at traffic. 294 around the city looks pretty good, except for this spot about halfway up. There was an earlier accident. I saw pictures on it, and I thought they'd have it cleared by now. But no, if you're going to O'Hare, you got a pretty good delay. 80 going east and west looks pretty good. Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan has now gone into more normal patterns as you slow down on the top of the steel bridge, and then it stays that way till about 76th Street. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along well. As you heard in 219 News Now, and you watched on the Times website and in a bunch of other places, southbound I-65 was closed overnight. It looks like it's open now, and you can go wherever you want. And I will not be here next Thursday, as I will be on the road to Indianapolis to attend some sports TED Talks. And it is the first time in America that they've had not just TED Talks, but it's called Sports TED Talks. And I've been invited, and it costs like, I don't know, $2,500 to go. And they gave us 2 tickets. So Peter Krakowski and I are going to go down there and hear about the future of sports. There's all sorts of pretty big celebrities that are going to be there. And we just kind of need to know what the directions of sports are in America. I'm going to go into a special segment here with someone I've known for a long time. And it's a little bit of a kind of a sad story, but we'll bring in right now Scott. Can you hear me, Scott? Yeah. All right, man. How you been?
Good.
All right. Scott Lindsay. Spell your last name.
Lindsey.
All right, man. I knew you. I'm sure some of the reporters asked you to spell your name recently, right? So, where do you work, Scott?
At Jewel in Munster.
What do you do?
Bagger.
Are you any good at it?
No.
I mean, you don't throw the jelly on top of the Ritz crackers and smash all the Ritz crackers, do you?
No.
All right, good. I know you're good at it. You've begged for me many times, and you take your job very seriously, don't you?
Yeah.
And so, how long have you been doing that?
Like 14 years.
Really? Can you hear me in your ear okay, by the way?
Yes.
All right, good. So 14 years you've been bagging at Jewel in Munster, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people know you, right?
Yeah.
Where did you and I meet?
On Linden Avenue.
That's right, man. Scott lived across the street from me for a very long time, and we got to know each other. I know one thing, Scott. I know you like to ride your bike. Have you always liked to ride your bike since you were a little kid, or no?
Yeah.
What is it about riding your bike that you like?
I do not know.
You just enjoy it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So you like riding your bike around, right?
Yeah.
So you were riding your bike not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, through Hessville Park. Do you mind talking about that, or can you tell us what happened?
Like, I got jumped by a few people.
And what were they doing to you?
Like, they were hitting, and then one adult hit me, and he knocked out my teeth. And
as you guys can see on JED TV right now, that is the case. They knocked down, 6 teeth total, or around there somewhere, that amount?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking okay. Sometimes people lose some teeth, and I'll tell you, I have not noticed any difference when I saw you Sunday. The same old thing. Scott, when you were when these guys were hitting you, what was going through your mind?
I'm not sure, so
Can't really remember.
it's like, why are they hitting me? But they said I was following them too close, so
And you weren't, were you, or just riding your bike?
No, I wasn't.
So after they stopped hitting you and saying kind of bad things, what happened then?
Then some ladies got my bike back to me, and they're Hispanic, and then they called the police on me.
And the police came?
Yep.
And you told them what happened?
Yeah.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
I went to St. Catherine's.
And they looked at your mouth and took care of your face where you had been beaten?
Yeah.
You know, Scott, all this time, were you wearing glasses at the time?
Yeah.
You were, okay, because you have your glasses on now, and most of the time I see you, you have your glasses on. I never really thought of that. But you were driving through Hessville Park, and this all happened. And how do you feel about it now, Scott? A lot of people have been giving you a lot of attention and want you to do well and have been wishing you well on social media, and they've been talking to Brian and so forth. The police were very involved in this. How are you feeling, man? What do you feel about it?
Well, I feel like it's done with, so.
You feel like it's done with?
Well, hopefully the guys learned that they did something wrong, so.
Do you think about the guys at all, ever?
Not that much.
What do you mean you feel like they learned their lesson? Is it, do you think they did? Do you think that, maybe going to jail or the juvenile center or something like that, do you think that'll teach them their lesson?
Maybe.
All right, man. I know that it's difficult for you to talk about this. How's Brian been through all this?
He's been fine.
He's been pretty involved, right?
Yeah.
Besides being kind of a goofy dude, he really cares for you, right?
Right.
We're talking about Brian Beatty of Beatty Machining. Now, that would be another friend of mine that can take me ribbing him some. But, Scott, let me look at the letter that he wrote, that Brian wrote recently, and here it is. I'm going to read it, at least some of it, and maybe we could comment on it. And if you don't want to, don't worry about it. We don't have to, right? He said, Mayor McDermott, I would like to thank you and the Hammond Police Department for the attention given to the assault of my stepson, Scott Lindsay, in Hessville Park on August 15th. And seeing that the adult responsible is now in custody awaiting prosecution, while I don't want to make the assault against Scott appear more than any other crime, everyone sensed that this was not just an assault against one individual. This was an assault against our entire community, and I believe you when you said every resource available to the police was utilized in this investigation. Let me put out a few names that helped with this. Detective Sergeant Joe Munoz, also Zeke Hinojosa. He's been around, I don't know. When I saw Zeke Hinojosa, I'm like, Zeke's still doing this? But evidently he's been there for 47 years. He took a personal interest in seeing justice being done. And Detective Sergeant Walt Peterson canceled his vacation plans to see this investigation to a successful conclusion. We should all be proud of the job these men did. Have you dealt with police very often, Scott?
Not that often.
Really? And they seem to come to your aid to find out who did that in this situation, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Brian was right in thanking the Hammond Police Department for coming after this, and hopefully it'll all be dealt with in the courts. And Scott, maybe we can put it behind us. Are you ready to do that?
Yes.
You're ready to get out on your bike and hopefully not get jumped?
Yes.
Well, me too, buddy. And I can't tell you how difficult it is to think of somebody wanting to hurt you, because I remember you as the guy in the neighborhood who kind of looked out for everybody. And then hopefully we're looking out for you, all right?
All right.
Could we talk about some other things?
Yes.
I heard you going to Comic-Con lately.
I've been to a few,
How many?
like 5 or 6.
What do you like about going to Comic-Con?
Like the crowd, the vibe.
You like all the people, and they're all into Comic-Con stuff, and it's kind of weird at times, right?
Yeah.
You like that part of it?
Yeah.
The do you wear a costume at all, or do you just show up as Scott?
I just show up as me.
Yeah, and I know that you like to ride your bike a lot, and you aren't riding your bike to Comic-Con. I don't want to bring that up, but there's a lot of bike paths around now, right? What's your favorite bike path? Where do you like to ride the most?
Like, I'm not really sure, so
But you like going on the bike paths, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah. Do you think there might be a time where you'll ride in Hessville Park yet again?
Like, there might be.
But not right away, right?
Right.
Okay. You know what? I understand that. I'll tell you what. I will, as you well know, you see me on my bike all the time, right? So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When you want to ride in Hessville Park again, I'll ride with you. How's that?
Okay.
You be all right with that? I don't even know if we ever rode bikes together. Maybe a little bit on the street. But when you want to do that, I bring my bike out. I ride to work a lot of times, and I will ride in Hessville Park with you. And I'll tell you what. I'm just going to volunteer them. Also, we'll ask the mayor to ride with us through Hessville Park. What do you think?
Okay.
All three of us. Could we do that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in on that. I'll get a hold of him. He can't deny that one. Hey, I also want to ask you if you've gone to any concerts this summer.
I went to one at the Centennial Park.
Oh, you did? Which one was that? Was that the Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young one? No, it was a different one?
Like
Okay.
that. I know it was on the Tuesday one.
Oh, okay. It was, yeah, so the one I went to was on a Friday recently. Why, do you like going to concerts?
Maybe.
They're kind of loud at times, aren't they?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you mind if I come out there and sit by you? Adriana's here. Can you say hi to Adriana?
Hi.
She comes in and she helps me out, and then I'm going to come in there and sit by Scott, and Adriana's going to take over. And how do you feel about all of these lights and all of this? You got to wear a headset, and look, I don't have a headset on. What the heck? How come I got to wear a head? I don't have to wear a headset, and you do, huh?
I don't know.
Well, I miss you, dude. And there's a lot of people that are worried about you, okay? And they've read all the Jerry Davich's articles, and they've seen also you on some other, and it's gotten a lot of attention right now. Can we safely say that you want to get it behind you and that you're doing okay?
Yeah.
All right, man. And then can we safely say that you, me, and Mayor McDermott are going to ride through Hessville Park one day?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Anything else you want to tell people? You want to tell Adriana some? Can I ask you a question, Scott? She's got some sort of thing around her neck. Is it cold out or something? I mean, did it get cold real quick? Is that what that is? Because that is the first turtleneck of the season that I've seen.
It's cold outside right now, but then it's going to get hot later. But it's always cold in here.
It is always cold here. Look, even Scott kept his jacket on,
cold
right?
here.
It is a little chilly in here, isn't it, Scott? Maybe I need to talk to the management. Scott and Lindsay, my friends, we have all heard the story about Scott, and he was put in an unfortunate situation in Hessville Park, but he's bouncing back. That's what we want to let people know, right? You're going to have to go see a dentist, aren't you?
Yep.
You're going to be sitting there for a while, so you'll make it through. Scott, is there anything else you want to tell people?
No.
No, all right, buddy. I want to thank you for coming over here and talking with me. Were you nervous a little bit?
Yeah, I was a little.
But it's just me, right? How could you be nervous?
I wasn't that nervous.
You weren't that nervous? I think, you know who was really nervous? It was Brian. He was nervous. He's like, what are you guys going to talk about? He's texting me last night. He's like, hey, go easy on him. And so he was the most nervous one, which is kind of funny, right?
Right. And I went to like a skateboarding event at Hessville Park a week before I was attacked, or 2 weeks before.
And you were at Hessville Park just hanging out, and it was kind of a cool skateboard thing? Or
they had like a contest there. Like they do one there every year.
And you were just hanging out and enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
So it was kind of surprising to all of a sudden kind of...
Like, they have a schedule. Like, they go to, like, all the skate parks in the region, like the Ileana skateboard circuit.
Yeah.
So, like, they posted at somewhere, like they have a website.
And you saw it, and so that's why you drove over to Hessville Park, was to watch the skateboarders?
No. That, like, I was there, like, a week before I was attacked.
Oh, okay. And you liked the skateboard thing? No?
Like, it was a cool contest.
Yeah. So who won it?
I'm not sure because, like, they have, like, different divisions.
Did anybody fall?
Yeah.
A lot of people fall. I get a little scared for them, you know what I mean? They do all that stuff on rails and on jumps and so forth. But they all have helmets on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got the elbow pads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. That's just something that you like to do, right? You want to come on the radio again and on the TV again? Do you like it?
Yeah, I could come on.
Yeah. You see, Brian was all worried, and here you are liking it, right?
Yep.
All right, man. One of the good guys, Scott Lindsay. Scott, from me, I'm very sorry that this happened to you. And, if there's anything I can do, let me know, all right? But
all right.
One of the things is, we'll have you on in a couple months. We probably won't be able to have you on the day that you're getting, like, your after you go to the dentist or whatever, so we'll schedule away from that, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll have you on a different day, and we'll just kind of catch up on how things are going. Now, you're still riding your bike, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you wearing your helmet?
Yeah.
Are you wearing any elbow pads or no?
No.
Me neither. They're too cumbersome, you know what I mean? All right, well, let's go riding soon, okay?
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Adriana, we're going to end this segment. This is being recorded on September 4th of 2025 if you're listening at another time. Scott's doing well, my friend. That's all we want people to know, right?
Right.
All right. All right, stay where you're at. I'll be right back on the voice and face of the region.
We were searching for some high in the sky song. We were just young and restless and bored, living by the sword. And we steal away every chance we could, back room to the alley or the trusty woods. I used her, she used me, but neither one cared. We were getting our share, working on our night moves, trying to lose an awkward teenage blues, working on our night moves. And it was summertime. Sweet summertime. felt the lightning. Yeah, waited on the thunder. Waited on the thunder. I woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. Started humming a song from 1962. And it's funny how the night moves when you just don't seem to have as much to lose. Strange how the night moves with autumn closing in. Night moves. Night moves. Yeah. Remember? I sure remember the night moves. And it's funny how you remember. Funny how you remember. I remember. Working and practicing. Working and practicing. Oh, the night moves. Night moves. Oh, I remember. Yeah, remember. Ooh, I remember. Lord, I remember.
Nine News Now is brought to you by the South Shore Line and by Strachan Van Til, making lives easier for 95 years.
I'm Andrew Garcia, and this is your 219 News Now. A semi-truck fire on I-65 near exit 247 on US 231 Wednesday night left just one southbound lane open, according to Indiana State Police. It appeared to be a truck carrying clothing, police said. We believe that it started in the brakes. As of 9:08 p.m. Wednesday, only one lane of traffic was open as firefighters worked to extinguish the flames. The southbound exit ramp onto US 231 is closed and drivers are asked to seek an alternate route. There are no reported injuries at this time. Please stay with the Times for an update on this story. State inspectors found violations of the BP Whiting refinery after severe thunderstorms flooded it last month and a lightning strike took equipment offline. Inspectors found that the torrential rainstorms caused the BP refinery's wastewater treatment plant to overflow and an unknown amount of oily water to reach Lake Michigan. BP put a containment boom in the water as a precaution to corral any potential spill. The state agency sent a non-compliance letter to the BP Whiting refinery asking it to submit a plan for addressing the issue, stating that the refinery has 30 days upon receipt of the letter to submit a written detailed response documenting correction of the concerns listed above and/or a plan for assuring future compliance. The Central Midwest Carpenters Union is hosting an open house at its Maryville Union Hall on September 9th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The union is offering free events at various union halls in Indiana to showcase career opportunities and emphasize a debt-free path to a carpentry career, particularly targeting high school students nearing graduation. Attendees can explore the training center, participate in hands-on activities, and learn about the strong demand for skilled construction workers in various sectors. And in sports, the IUN men's soccer team battles Taylor University. Here's a look at the action from that game.
Bird sends it in. Opportunity. Shot on goal. Deflected in. Now with the 1-goal lead, we'll see if they do that. This one is sent in front of the net! And another goal! Well, what looked to me is just they didn't hear the whistle. Bird just continued to play. And then you had a whole lot of action after that as a counter quickly coming here for IUN. The ball is going to be centered in and headed into the back of the net for an IUN goal. And the clock will expire on Indiana University Northwest as it's a final here from East Chicago Central. Taylor Trojans come away with a victory 2-1.
To read up on more local news and headlines, visit jedtv.com and nwi.com. I'm Andrew Garcia, and this has been your 219 News Now.
JOB AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the Calumet region. I'm Jim Dedelow. She is Adriana Alvarez, and it is Thursday, September 4th of 2025. That earlier accident that was just mentioned there on the southbound I-65 looks like that's been cleared, as you can now go to DeMotte or Rensselaer or Lafayette or wherever you want on I-65. It may be closed on 231, the exit there going, so I don't know if that's been opened, but I do know that the traffic's moving along pretty well. And traffic in other areas, 294 has an accident about halfway up, and that's backing things up. If you think you're just going to go straight to O'Hare, that is not the case. 80 going east and west looks good. The Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan is packed solid from the top of the steel bridge all the way up to Jane Byrne. If you have another alternative right now, I would take that. If you want to go up to the Skyway or the toll road or anything like that, that would be a good day to do that. Basically stay off the Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan. Here on the Indiana side, it's beautiful out, and it is also kind of cold, but the traffic's moving along really well. Borman, Klein Avenue Bridge, toll road, all that stuff, all that stuff that will back up throughout the day is moving along pretty well right now. Adriana Alvarez with the weather.
Currently, right now, at the Strack and Van Til Studios, we're seeing that it is 49 degrees. That is why I'm wearing a turtleneck, because it's almost like in the 40s. Today, we're seeing highs of 68, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy, with the start of a cool stretch of weather. And then tonight, we're seeing lows of 55, clear to partly cloudy, with some showers in the late. Moving forward into the rest of the week on Friday, we're seeing mostly cloudy, windy, and cool weather, partly cloudy and cold, but no rain, so that's pretty good for all of our sports and events that we have going on Friday. On Saturday, we're going to see some sun, clear, cool weather, as well as on Sunday, highs of 66 and lows of 47.
That was kind of sad, wasn't it?
Yes. When you had the interview, I was like, who's he interviewing? I'm like, because it was just had the first name, so I didn't see the last name. And I'm listening on the way here. I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm listening to the interview, and it's kind of interesting.
You know, it's kind of interesting now, and I kind of kept it kind of light.
Yeah.
Partly by taking cues from Scott. Mm-hmm. Scott would like to get past the attack in Hessville Park. Certainly, there are other parts to deal with it, including the several individuals that have been taken into custody, and one of them is an adult, and then some juveniles, and, you know, what is the justice system going to do about it, and how should that be handled? But that was interesting that he said that is like, I just want to get past it, you know what I mean? And I don't know if we can. I know that the story has gotten a lot of attention, but he wants to get past it, and maybe that's what we need to take as the cue from him to get past it. You know, I mean, it's like it was a horrific attack in Hessville Park against just a kind of defenseless guy riding his bike, and there's some video of it that I will not watch that shows him getting pummeled, and guys yelling some amazingly bad things to Scott Lindsay that just turned my stomach, that even to hear about, even though I won't watch the video. I don't know what else to take from that. If you guys want to call in on it, it's 219-845-1100. Other than that, I'm just going to kind of move on. Ileana Christian. I don't know. Is there people that want to talk about it yet? No? I didn't think so. Ileana Christian set for its first football game in school history. Ileana Christian will have a first football game this Saturday. We're acting like this is a Friday night varsity game, said Coach Kessler. I want to give these guys a real taste of what it is because it's the first football game in school history. And they'll be taking on Bishop Knowles' JV team on Saturday at 7 o'clock at night. Ileana announced the addition of football in February. We'll offer a JV team for the next 2 seasons and introduce a varsity squad in 2027. Athletic Director Darren DeBoer said that the previous facilities in Lansing were a hindering factor in starting football. And then once they went to Dyer in 2018, had a huge enrollment growth and had the financial capability, the idea became realistic. Also, I want to make sure that everybody understands they also have a girls' flag football game. So I'm not sure, honestly, if that is. I don't know if the girls' flag football has already played on that field. Then that would have been the first football game in school history. I'm not all together, and I think it's Heidi Teach is the coach, one of the coaches over there, and the program, not officially sanctioned by the state of Indiana, is part of a growing trend in high school athletics. And we will be having our first girls' flag football game on TV coming up here. And I'm pretty sure one of them is going to be Munster and Chesterton, and then one of them is going to be Ileana Christian's.
When's the high school season?
Right now.
Oh, because isn't college season in the spring?
The girls' flag football? Yes.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I was like, what do you mean that we have it now? I thought we had a little more time.
How do you feel about this?
I think that this is a very exciting chapter. Of course, anytime that we're able to put something new, especially in the world of sports, because, yes, we have the fan favorites. You got football, you have basketball, baseball, etc. You have the favorites that everybody likes. But for something new to come up, especially in the field, in the area of sports for women, that is something even better because, yes, as much as people may be tired of hearing it, women still have to advocate so much for themselves in the world of sports because we're always compared to the men. Yes, we're playing the same sports, but people gravitate more towards the men because that's what they've been seeing throughout the entire, that's what they see the most. So, especially now I've heard it more in basketball. People are more likely to watch women's basketball, yes, because of all the drama that's happening, but it's getting views, and then from there you get the people that have been watching it for the drama of the athletes, and then they're like, hey, this is actually a pretty good game, and they keep watching, and they go from there. So to get flag football, that's amazing, and I know we are going to get hockey for PNW as well. So I'm not surprised that this is how you're taking this. I know that your interest in the sports network is you're a producer, you're running your own podcast network and all that. Well, see, I'm more interested in basketball. I'm more interested in basketball. I cheered on the sidelines for football for 4 years, and I still couldn't tell you what a first down meant. Okay, good. You see, I've never heard you speak passionately about sports in any faction or any situation. And that is exactly what the Indiana Colts are hoping for. The Indiana Colts I think they give every school $5,000 that wants to start girls flag football. Munster started it, Ileana. Yeah. I don't even know who the other schools are, but I think Chesterton has one. And some of the schools took it and some did not. I'm hearing that the ones that did not take it are getting pressure
to take the money and
yeah.
start girls flag football, even though, you know, it's a lot of work to start a whole sport up. But they did get some money from the Colts. And the Colts want people like you to look at football in a different way and maybe come and start being Colts fans. I will say this, that
I don't think that's ever going to happen, but okay.
so here's the deal about the Colts. Adriana's kind of, I don't know, chief content officer, let's say.
Okay.
And
Just add that title to the resume.
well, whatever title you want.
I don't know.
But for the most part, all of the guys ran over to the sports network, and it takes them all day. They were here late last night, and they're here late in the fall and in the winter especially. Kind of slows down in the summer, but it's a lot of work, and they've all gone that way. And all the people that used to work in the morning are, you know, it's left to you and Matt Kaufman and Joe Cimino to produce and all of that. And the involvement of women in, you know, Lynette comes in, and now she's doing some games, and, you know, I appreciate all of that, but in the end, if it were to get more women involved in the football, I think that's the goal, and I think that's where we're headed. Now, there's one thing about the Colts. We have tried several times to get the Colts on the radio here. You know how we do Purdue and we do IU.
Yes.
And Sam has tried to get the Colts, and the Bears won't let it come onto this. I mean, I guess there's some sort of I shouldn't say the Bears won't let it, but there's some sort of gentleman's agreement between the Ursays, who own the Colts, and the McCaskies, who own the Bears, that Northwest Indiana is Bears territory, so we can't put the Colts game on, even though we are in Indiana.
Yeah.
Now, I could fight that and probably eventually win it with a court case or something like that, but you know, it'd be very expensive just to get the Colts on.
Just to get one team.
But we have been pushed by the Colts. I mean, not by the Colts, by other people, not the Colts. The Colts are like quietly would be like, dude, we'd love to be on WJOB, but you know that's Bears territory, and they don't say anything about it. And you know, it's just how it is. It's basically a monopoly, and you can usually get those struck down. But it's kind of hard not to put the Colts on the radio when they're putting $5,000 into Munster, and they're putting $5,000 into Ileana, and they're putting $5,000 into Chesterton. So as the chief content officer, perhaps you need to revisit if we could get the Colts on. Because, you know, theoretically, if they're coming up here and they're giving money into the local high schools, how can we not have their games on?
How can we not?
I mean, does that mean that it's no longer Chicago Bears aren't putting $5,000 into all these high schools around here to sponsor girls flag football? The Colts are. So I don't know. I don't know where the lines are drawn, and I'm sure if one of you lawyers that are listening wants to pick it up, from what I understand, it could be kind of a landmark case, and you should be able to win it. But anyways, Gatorade is also putting a lot of money into girls flag football, and we will be having an Ileana Christian game coming up. You know, I have really, there's so many things going on in the world. Now, is Purdue Northwest start again today?
I'm sorry?
Is Purdue Northwest on today?
Yes, they are. We have men's and women's soccer coming in.
Okay, because I don't see anybody here yet.
They start at 8 o'clock.
It's 7:38. They're usually here by now. Really?
45.
All right,
45.
there we go. All right, well, then they are coming in. I mean, there's so many things going on, but one of the things that they're talking about the most is that the National Guard may be coming to Chicago as early as this next weekend. How do you feel about it?
So I've actually talked about this topic a lot at the internship that I have with WCPT. I did a whole segment with them on how the protests that are happening in the nation are not being televised. And if they are, it's about a 30-second segment, and then that's it. They go on to the next thing. And how with social media, they are using the code word LA Music Festival 2025. And if you search that up, all you are going to get is protests, because there is a theory that since Meta is owned by Instagram and Facebook, that when protests are put in, your content's not going to get shared around as often. It will get through, but it won't be as publicized as other content. So people have found a way around the algorithm, and they are using that to get their voice out there. And with the National Guard coming to Chicago and more ICE agents coming to Chicago, Chicago is not backing down. They said, why do you need to come here? Now, yes, the other side of the argument is that Chicago's crime rates are through the roof ridiculous. Now, I haven't looked at them for this year opposed to next year. So they could be up, they could be down. I have not looked at them recently. But Labor Day, there was a bunch of protests. And I didn't know that there was any protests until I had to look it up for an assignment to research. It was for the No Kings one. I had to research that one for a class assignment. So when I had to type in protest, usually you get No Kings first. But then it says the Labor Day protest. I was like, there's Labor Day protest. It was all over the nation, but you're not seeing it televised. So for the National Guard to come into Chicago, I think it's a little excessive. If anything, put more money into your police departments that are already there. And then if that doesn't work, keep going until you can get into until it needs to come to that point. But until it looks like, yeah, I just saw that text message. So
yeah, so I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're fine.
Yeah, you're cutting me off. There's plenty to hit there, and that you are interning at WCPT. And I've told you guys from the beginning that Adriana's probably going to follow the track of Rob and Sonny. Sonny just reached 1 year at Big Ten Network.
Did, yeah.
And, we train them hard and work you very hard, and other people notice, and then they pick you up like WCPT is. But at least I know I got you through the end of the year, right?
You have me until, they don't pay. It's an unpaid internship, so
right.
You got me here.
Doesn't matter. Someone will see exactly how talented you are.
But we do got a caller on the line.
Yeah, I forgot. It's not on the schedule, so we will go right now to Jess from Hometown Jams, and we have to apologize to Jess. We forgot that she was. We didn't have it down on her. Hey, Jess, how you been?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for listening to us go on for a little while. Hey,
no problem.
How'd it go for recently? You had a big concert in Crown Point. How'd that go?
Oh, obviously a ton of fun. It's always a good time when you can get out and listen to some live music, but also give back to the community, as we did for our Hometown Heroes event.
Who played?
It was Brothers Osborne.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
I heard, I saw the pictures and I saw some of the video, and they rocked Crown Point, man.
Oh, yeah. Always do.
What is it about them that gets the crowd so into it?
I mean, they just have a stage presence to them that you just don't get anywhere else. With Kip Moore that we'll get tonight, we'll put on a different show, but it's going to be equally as phenomenal as Brothers Osborne did.
All right. So what do you got coming up?
So we have, I almost said Brothers Osborne. We already have them. So we have Kip Moore coming up tonight at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Tickets are still available. Doors open at 5, with our first opener starting at 6 with Nate Venturelli. And then we also have Brothers Osborne. God, why do I keep saying that? We have Kip Moore going on at 8:30, rounding out the last Crown Point show for 2025.
And so that's tonight, not tomorrow, right?
It's tonight, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And then next Friday, we have Gabby Barrett coming to Central Park in Valpo to finish up the outdoor season. So lots of good things coming in the next couple of days, but we do have a couple indoor shows at the Art Theater Drake White October 12th and also Adriana November 13th.
Gabby Barrett, my daughter plays her wasn't she on American Idol?
She was, yes.
Yeah, and now she's it's kind of a little bit of a crossover with some pop, but mostly country singer, correct?
Correct. Yep. She started out doing this, and this is where she has found her way, and we are so excited to have her back with us.
Yeah, that's kind of a big get. People, I mean, I know Brothers Osborne was a big get, but
Yeah.
Gabby Barrett that's to Valpo, correct? Yeah.
Correct, yep.
Yeah. And you're also doing stuff throughout the Midwest now, right? But you are region-based, correct?
We are region-based, but yes, we are all over the Midwest. We are in Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Lexington, Kentucky, and also Evansville, Indiana.
What is it that you do right, Jess?
Me as hometown jams, I think what it is just we get these big-time acts in a small-town venue, right? We bring the big city performances in just a more intimate venue. It's not you're getting lost with 60,000 people. It's very close to home. It's a ton of fun that we can get. Even some new up-and-comers that we've had. Avery Anna's been around for a little bit, but now headlining shows. Super excited to have her come in and see us in November. I've seen her open for a couple artists in Chicago. So having her come to our little area is so fantastic, and just loving that we can do this for Northwest Indiana and all over these markets in the Midwest.
So to just circle around again, Nate Venturelli goes on at what time tonight?
6 o'clock, and then we have Kaylee Hammock at 7:15, Kit Moore at 8:30.
All right, so I don't know Kaylee, but Nate Venturelli, of course, local guy. He's been doing, country singer, songwriter, and he performs a lot of areas around here. It's pretty well known. He had the single "Lovin' Up on Me" and also "Make a Lot of Livin'," and also had some others in the back, and very popular amongst the union sect. He did "Hard Hat" in 2024. And then Kit Moore is just an American singer, songwriter, 45-year-old guy out of Georgia. And I think he recently signed to Virgin Music Group. So he's a big deal right now. That'll all be tonight in downtown Crown Point. All right.
Yep.
Anything else, Jess?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tonight, and again next Friday with Gabby Barrett in Valpo.
All right, man. Keep us updated and keep doing the good work that you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys too. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks. Also,
see you tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Also, tomorrow night is Wing and Roll in downtown Crown Point. Now, here's the thing. You kept Jess waiting because we didn't read our text that she was there. Sorry about that. So she may not do this, but depending on how well you do tomorrow night, maybe you'll be like, doing the announcing at Hometown Jams. Who knows,
Maybe,
right?
Who knows?
But our own Adriana Alvarez is doing her first public performance, would you say? Or
yes.
Because you are emceeing Wing and Roll tomorrow, right?
I am, yes.
And what time is that? What time are you supposed to be there?
So Wing and Roll is from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock, I believe. Yes, 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock. I am going to be there a little bit earlier just so that way I can kind of see how everything is set up, where they want me to go, what they want me to say and everything. But it will be Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. It will have the best chicken wing cook-off and like a live voting. There is live rock and roll music, raffle games, and prizes. All of the proceeds benefit local mental health programs serving over 5,000 individuals and families each year. I will be there kind of saying the announcements, and from time to time, if they need just to say, hey, don't forget there's this over here, there's this. They have photo booths. It is 80s themed, so we are all going to go dressed in our best impression of the 80s, even though I already know some adults are going to be like, we did not wear that in the 80s.
You see what's happening here. I mean, the request was, that I would do the emceeing, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, well, who could we do? Because I'm playing golf and I'm having a couple pops with my buddies, and I don't want to we have a pretty strict thing, other than me and Kuziak, that you don't drink and go on the air. And so I'm like, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I think Adriana's ready. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you going on the air at CPT ever?
Yes.
How do you like that?
At CPT, we go on the air every Sunday. They just got 2 hours instead of 1 hour, so they used to go on the air from 9 to 10. Now we are going on the air from 8 to 10.
And that's in the morning or the evening?
In the morning. So they have two kind of areas, but the main radio station is in Rosemont. But luckily now we are doing a Zoom call, and we're on the air through Zoom. From there, we just talk about different topics that are going on. It doesn't always have to be political. It could just be something that we feel is important to us. So I talked about the protests. We talked about AI and data centers and how they are enforcing AI into classrooms. And I recently talked about how with Hispanic Heritage Month, all these events that are happening, a lot of people aren't going to really come out as much. They're still going to get those big crowds that they always have. But some individuals may not want to go because they do have that fear that because ICE is getting sent to Chicago more so, and the National Guard, that they might not make it home. So that was what I talked about. So then this week, I have to figure out what I'm talking about. But I did tell them that we have our meetings on Fridays around 5 o'clock. I told them I will send in what I am talking about, but I'm working a different event for my job. And they said, no problem, that's fine. And I'm doing their social media right now. We have some clips we got to post soon.
Well, don't be doing it during my show.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
I'll do my homework for P&W instead.
Which is exactly what So Adriana is so good at multitasking. She's doing her homework for P&W as she produces the show and talks and does the weather. So here's the thing. I'm going to TED Sports Talk. I'm not talking.
I was going to say, I was hearing about that. You spoke briefly about that while I was coming in. Where is that at in
That's
Indy?
in Indy at the old National Center. It's a lot of celebrities that are coming in to talk about what's happening in the sports world, and Indianapolis wants to be the kind of home of sports tech. So they're putting a lot of money into it, and the tickets I think are $2,500, but they gave us 2. So Peter and I are going, and I don't know all the names, but I know they're big names. And then the person that is the head of marketing at Google is going to be there. And I wonder if Gloria Morris is going to go down because of that. Mm-hmm. But Gloria Morris is out of Crown Point, a Great Lakes Sports Hub, and she works for Google, and she kind of travels around. She actually was in San Francisco last night and posted some plates at these very highly Michelin-rated restaurants, and I'm like, man, I know that restaurant. That's like $200 easy per plate. But so I'll be not here next Thursday. So do you want to host?
I can, yes.
Just by yourself, or you want somebody else to come in with you?
I would probably have one of the other producers or two and just be like, hey, we're going to talk for a little bit. And if anything, we can see if those who do podcasting on Thursdays, if they maybe want to come in a little earlier, if we don't.
So
if we have the time, I got to actually look at the schedule.
Yeah,
for
so
next
Thursday I won't be here, but like today we're doing live podcasts of Mastering Local Marketing with Matt Hansen, the professor here at P&W, and then we're doing Limb Walkers with Will Galeros. Jim Weezer does his next week at probably, 8:30 or something. Maybe he'll come in a little bit early.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can host next week because we have North Township, P&W today, Mastering Local Marketing, and Weezer podcast. So
that's all today.
That's all next week.
Okay, all right. So
today we have all of those except North Township.
Okay, good enough. So I'm going to not look to get one of my buddies to come in. I'm just going to have you do the next Thursday, and I'm not going to worry about it, right?
Yep, you're not going to have to worry. We got this.
So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know that you were on the air there. I thought they were just having you do tech.
I did not either until they said, hey, come in the first day just so you could see the studio. And then from there, they said, oh, here, put the headset on, similar to how it is here. And I was just like, okay, I have nothing prepared. And then they just said, oh, just introduce yourselves, say what you're going to be doing for us here. But they have us as producers. I'm not doing tech there in the sense that I am back here hitting all the buttons and the dials and everything. But in a sense, just bringing topics, and then if we want to bring individuals on to talk about certain things, we can. And it's just more so just whatever you feel is important and want to voice out there.
The Sonny Santana reached 1 year at the Big Ten Network the other day, and he is doing tech. And Rob Aguirre is at Barstool. And did you see the picture of Rob on the beach? One of them was, I don't know if this is the same one, but
no, I saw the one that he was like sitting in, like on camera. He was just like, I'm on Barstool, guys.
Yeah, he's Rob Aguirre. If you go up to watch Barstool, he was sitting here just a month ago or so, and now he's up there and working with Barstool. But I'm like, hey Rob, how's it going? He goes, hey man, did you see? They sent him out to Oak Street Beach to do some sort of volleyball thing, and he was only there like a week or something, and he's already sitting there at the beach with Barstool, operating all of the equipment, and it's living his best life. So once again, Chicago comes knocking on the door for talent, and they find Adriana Alvarez, who is going to be your host a week from today. I have, kind of disjointed today. But immediately after this, we are going to repost an interview that we did with Scott Lindsay just today. Scott is the young man who, he's 44 now. So he was beaten very ferociously, I guess, in Hessville Park as he was just riding his bike through there. There's a number of people that are in custody. Brian Beatty, Lindsay's stepfather, was very vocal and very instrumental in kind of keeping this alive. Jerry Davich has wrote a number of articles in the Times. There's also a GoFundMe page. We didn't even talk about that. But there is a GoFundMe page. You can get that through Davich's column. And he's done it a couple times. I think he's doing another follow-up on where Scott is. But Scott's message today was basically, I'd like to move on from that. We did kind of chronicle what happened in Hessville Park, but I told him that if he still rides his bike, but he's a little shy of Hessville Park, and if he ever wants to go back there, I will ride with him. And I volunteered that I would ask the mayor if he would ride with us, and the mayor rides his bike a lot too. And just kind of mark the moment when he's ready to finally do that. So that will be up on, you can go on to, Adriana posts some recent episodes that we did, and you posted on JED's journal, correct?
Yes, I got back into the groove of posting for your podcast, and it's we have it every day. I think we just ran out.
Okay, so
there'll be more content.
You'll cut up Scott's interview and try to get it up today. So you go to JED's journal on the
JED's journal, anywhere you get your podcast. You got anywhere you get your podcast. WJOB 1230.com and WJOB 1230 on YouTube.
There it is. So I kind of stumbled there as kind of a ghost. I hadn't seen the guy in so long. Rick Costello, the athletic director for P&W, is kind of walking around, and I'm like, oh, there he is. So
he's kicking you out.
He's kicking me out is what he's doing. All right, I'm going to get out, but I will be back for most of the afternoon as we will record live 2 different podcasts, 3 episodes, and one will be Mastering Local Marketing with Matt Hansen. We'll do a 9:05 and a 9:35 episode, and then somewhere around 10:15, I'll have Will Glaros in here, and we'll do the Limb Walkers podcast. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, we will be at Wing and Roll tomorrow, Adriana Alvarez will be there, and I'll try to stop by too. And then on the way home, I'll get over here to the Friday kickoff that's going to be at Griffith. Now, just not to confuse people, we're doing Friday kickoff, but our partner, Regional Radio Sports Network, is doing the game along with Mid-America Broadcasting. So it's, a lot of people are now our partners on these things. So we'll do the pregame of all the Friday night kickoff. Brian Jennings will stop by. You'll get Phil Mason. You'll get the new basketball coach at Griffith will be introduced. All that stuff. It'll be all Griffith will be out. Central Midwest Carpenters built a nice little stage for us. I have not seen it. And hopefully they'll be delivering that tomorrow to Griffith High School. And then at the same time, Adriana will be out at Wing and Roll in Crown Point. But the big thing you got to do is you got to download the JED TV Sports Network app. Watch all these games in the evening. Also, in the morning, Adriana is in charge of programming this until about 11 o'clock. So WJOB rents the JED TV Sports Network in the morning. All right, guys, I'm out. Rick Costello's in. And I'll see you guys in about an hour on the Voice and Face of the Region.
Make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights day out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. Had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruise and entertain ourselves. Still ain't got a job. Now work in the market as a checkout.